Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second edition of the To Life podcast with me, Clive Nyakudzi. I'm going to wait for people to hop on before I get started, but we are live right now. So while I wait for people to hop on, I'm going to play some music here that I have ownership to. You. Let me know who you are in the chat. Love to know who's in the chat. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Please let me know who you are in the chat. Today, we're going to be talking about. Today, we're going to be talking about the first time you earned real money. And when I say real money, I mean like real money, like over boma. I don't know what. Let's describe real money. I don't know what real money is to other people. I'm gonna say real money is boma 10,000. Let's say 10,000. Okay, the first time you earned real money. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. Why is my elbow cough? Okay, no one knows what that is, babe. But we live. Yo, just waiting here. I think I'm going to definitely use this podcast as a way to promote music from 5 years ago. Oh my gosh. All the music that we could never put out, music and beats that we never recorded on, I'm going to use on this podcast. Yeah. I think maybe what I should do is go live on my IG as well. Just for the sake of it. Let me know who you are in the chat. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. My focus is going to be YouTube. I want to know what do you what would you say is real money? Let me ask that question first of all. Hello to everybody on my IG. I'm live on my YouTube channel right now. And I'm speaking about the first time you earned real money. So I'm trying to determine I need a base point for us to work from. So what would you say is real money? What would you say is real? What's the baseline for real money? Like when you earn that, you're like, okay, this is the first time that people take me seriously. This is the first time that people are like, oh, this guy's a real deal. I'm saying 10,000. I'm saying 10,000 rand. That's real money. If you've never worked before, like if you've never ever worked before, 10,000 rand is real money. I think. I think. I think. I think. I think. Okay. So that's the question I'm asking. Real money. I need somebody to help me here. I need a base point. When was the first, when you got this amount, when was like the first time you're like, okay, now I'm earning real money? For me, I'm saying 10,000. I'm saying 10,000 Rand. That was like real money. That was the first time I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let me know on the IG live. And if you're on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, let me know as well. I want to know what is the base point for real money? When did you say like, yeah, you see now I'm earning? But again, real money could be different for everybody. So real money, let me know. I need to know, is it 10,000, 5,000, 2,000? When was the first time you're like, okay, you see now I'm earning real money, real money. Let me know in whatever chat you're in. Look at my wife. She's so supportive. She's like the only person on the YouTube chat right now. And I'm not talking about pre-tax, post-tax. I just want to know what is real money. What do you say is like real money? Where you're like, I'm earning some dough now. For me, get a 10,000 because I want to tell the story of when I thought that I earned like a big check from like advertising and stuff like that, and how I wish I would have used that money. Like I didn't use that money very well, but because of black tax and other things. So I want to know real money, real money. When do you think you've earned like real money? When was the first time you're like, yo, I think I've really earned real money? While I do that, let me try to put this thing together here. Look at my little, you know, this is the only way I could get the mic high enough is for me to put all this stuff on. The people on YouTube can't see it though. By the way, if you want to jump on as well, I'd love to have the conversation with some people. I'm going to put the link in the comment and you can literally click on the link and then join the live. I would love to chat to some people. People with money, please help us. Real money. What would you say is real money? Whoa. Hi, painting murals for you. Okay, Letitia, give me I need a figure. I need a figure from you. Like what was the like when you got this amount in your bank account, like what would you describe as like real money? Like I know that like painting the murals was really great for you, but I'm saying what is the amount? I just want to know the amount for when you were like, when I got this check, that's when I knew I was earning like real money. Okay. I'm asking this question for a specific reason. Don't worry. I'm not trying to expose y'all. I am live on YouTube specifically as well. So if you guys want to jump onto the YouTube, you can. Let me quickly. How do you actually add a title to your live here? I'm saying 10,000. I'm saying 10,000 Rand. That was real money. 10,000 was real money for me at the time. For me at the time is what I'm saying. When I earned that, you're going to expose. No, man. Mpo is saying I'm going to be exposing. I'm not exposing anybody. I'm just saying, like, when you were, for me, when I was 21 years old, was the first time I earned, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, when I saw 10,000 there, then I was like, geez. I'm really not trying to expose anybody. 30,000. Yeah. Hey, Letitia, that's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money. I think for me a base point is like 10,000 rand. Like I think that's like a good base point. But that's crazy, yo. That's crazy. My first big check, the first big check I ever earned, I got 21,000. I got 21,000 rand. It was for an ad, and when I was like, I was besides myself. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Letitia says that's what she did was lit. Yeah, and the reason I'm asking that is like it's specific because I think for a lot of people, if you're an artist or you're someone who wants to earn money from your craft, like you never really know because I really want to start a conversation about like how do you quote? How do you quote when you're new at something? You know, that's really what I'm trying to like figure out. After I graduated and started working, I was pulling above 20. I nah, that's fair. I think that's fair. That's fair. About 20K. That's fair. And let me ask this question: when you started to see that, did it change the way? Like I'm thinking specifically about like people who are artists and stuff like that, with regards to like tech writers and things like that. Did it change the way? Because this person paid this much, then surely everybody should be able to pay that much. You know what I mean? I'm really trying to determine that. I'm really trying to determine what is the best way for an artist, what is the best way for a creative to quote, what is the best way for them to do that? And so I'm asking the question of like, when was the first time you were like, oh, so this is what someone thinks my art is worth, right? This is what someone believes my art is worth. And so that's crazy. 30,000, 20K. But Paul, you are specialized in your field. You're very specialized in your field. So I can see someone like, paying top dollar for that. For me, I just think the hardest thing for most people is they don't know how to quote. And there's lots of people that are jumping on now. Matt is on right now. Matt's always on here for violence. I really want to know, like, when it comes to quoting for whatever it is that you do, are you a rapper, are you a painter, are you a graphic designer? When it came to the first time you were quoting, what were you using as a benchmark? Like, what were you using as like a benchmark for that stuff? Um, because I think it could help a lot of people. A lot of people out there are like asking for ridiculous money, bro, but they don't have the talent to match. And there's some people that are super talented that aren't being paid, you know what I'm saying, what they're worth. So I really want to know that. I'm really trying to figure that out. I'm gonna put the link in. You realize that you're a brand if there's no document that exists that goes like, if you are a new up and coming rapper, right? There's nothing that says like, if you're a new up and coming rapper, this is how much, you know what I'm saying, this is how much you should start off with when it comes to quoting for your work, you know. Matt, I see you're trying to join here on the IG live. I was hoping you would join on YouTube, but let me see if I can quickly get you in here, bro. Go live. I think Matt's gonna join now. Duh, duh, duh. We made 20K with in Lesotho, and that was big money for us then. I guess. Matt, what's good, bro? Where are you, dog? Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
and then that's pretty much what you should charge. So that's what I would normally do. I'd find out what people who are doing similar work charge,
Yeah.
and then with my sort of expertise in my niche, what would I bring to the table for that brand
Right.
or client, whatever, and then add my costs to it, and then this is what I would charge. So if they go do their research, it's pretty much okay, cool. This is what I normally charge. This is industry standard, but this is why I charge what I do because this is how much value I bring to the table.
Right.
And with that, I gotta go.
You're the man, Matt. Thank you so much for that insight, bro.
Alrighty, take it easy.
Cheers, bro. I believe Matt is right, and I see Pumlani is also jumping on here on YouTube. So, to those who are, let me just move that. If you're on YouTube, you can check it out as well. I'm going to add Pumlani in now. Matt is correct in the fact that, like, sure, you charge based on what value you can add to a specific brand. Um, but at the same time, I think the question still remains of like, you know, what are you comparing yourself against before you charge somebody or whatever. So let me add Pumlani in here.
Somebody or whatever. So let me add money.
Yo, what up, bro? Your connection is nuts. You look like you're in like a basement somewhere, bro. He looks like he's in a basement somewhere. To everybody on IG, you guys can go to my YouTube channel. Just look for Clive Nyakudzi on the YouTube, and you can just join the chat in there as well. Just wanted to hop on here first, just to let everybody know we are on YouTube. We're going live on YouTube. I'm going to continue the conversation on YouTube, but I'm really talking about how to charge. If you're an artist of some sort, how do you charge a brand? How do you charge a company? If you're in church circles, how do you charge a church when it comes to your art? All right. So I'm gonna drop off on this live, and I'm gonna be on YouTube for the rest of the live. Catch me on the YouTube channel, Clive Nyakudzi on YouTube. Just search Clive Nyakudzi on YouTube. I'm asking the question: what is real money? What is real money? What is the first time you realize, yo, like I'm earning, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm asking that question on YouTube, and if you're on IG, I want to know. There were some people that said 20K, 30K as well. I'm saying 10,000 rand. Once I saw 10,000 in my account, I was like, it's kind of crazy. So I'm gonna jump off of the of IG now, but I am on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube, Clive Nyakudzi on YouTube, Clive Nyakudzi on YouTube. Check me there. Cheers. Dude, how do I end this live? All right, YouTube people, please let me know who you are in the chat. I see there's like 4 people on, but I don't know who you are. So let me see here. Atrex says we made 20K in Lesotho, and that was big money to us then. So Atrex, tell me when it came to because you guys were a band. There was 2 of you guys, correct? There was 2 of you guys, or 3 or 4, whatever. So how did you then determine how you guys were going to charge going forward after that? You know what I'm saying? I want to see what happened to Pumlani here. Okay, cool. Atrax is on. Atrax, what's good, bruh? Can you hear me? There's no audio coming from your side, bro. Just pick your audio source there. Because I see you clearly. But I just can't hear you, brother. You're definitely unmuted on the side. Oh, I think I heard something. Go ahead. Try say something. Yeah, bro, I'm not hearing you, man. I don't know. Maybe just check what mic you chose on your side, and then yeah, because I can't hear you. Can you hear yourself? Sort of comes in and out sometimes. Yeah, bro, I can't hear you at all, dog. I can't hear you at all. By the options where it helps you choose a mic, bro, um just choose like your headsets or whatever, because the audio is not coming through at all. Audio is not coming through at all, bruh. I can't hear you. Unless, wait, hold on. I think the problem might be me. Hold on, bro. The problem might be me here. Like it on it. Like it on it. Say something? Nah, still, bro. I Googled. Try again. Fit. I Googled, dog. I Googled. I don't know what's going on, man. And I'm doing my best over here. Let me see. It tracks. Are you in Cape Town, bro? I gotta go Cape Town. Kuna lady issue, dog. Let me see. Because on my side, it seems like everything is cool, but I just can't hear you, bro. Yeah, I can't hear you, my guy. Just pick the right mic. Send me a text. Just gonna see if Atrax can get that audio going. But in 2010, I was hopping around, man. I was going from like one audition to the next audition. In fact, the person who put me on to this whole like advertising what thing was Luke's. He was like the first person to put me on when it came to like, you know, getting money via doing ads or whatever while you're still a student. And I just got really blessed to do like a really big campaign, and they paid like 20,000 rand, bro. And I mean, as a 19-year-old at that point, I didn't even know what to do with that type of money. Let me see if I can get Atrax on real quick. Is he there? Let me text him. Because really, I think the big problem is it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, you need to get this job, but you need 6 years worth of experience. How do I get the experience if you don't hire me? So most people that try to, how can I say, that try to going forward quote these different places are going like, hey, I know what I'm worth essentially. I just can't. Okay, I see the network is. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get Pumlani on. Okay, cool. Add you. Because it's no one's really told us. No one's really told us like, how do you put a tech writer together? You know what I'm saying? Plus, your friend gave you the beat for free. You know what I'm saying? Let me just see if Pumlani's gonna hop on now. Because I'm curious. The first time somebody asked me to MC something was like really tricky. Okay, let me see this, Pumlani. My boy. What happened, dog?
Ntwana yazini ne bengidownload iworship yabo ceda lapho my network yabo.
You're not supposed to download worship, brother. You're supposed to buy worship.
That's what I mean. After I buy it, I have to download it.
Yeah, bro, what up?
I'm Kutlabaro waka chelete mfan.
Waka chelete dog. Because I always want to make sure that we help people, bro. I think there's people that don't know, you know, like Pumlani for you, when it came to, if someone were to say, like when you first started out, how did you determine how to quote someone that was like, hey, I want you to come play music at my wedding? How did you determine that? How did you put that together?
I think, okay, so for me, for my first one, all I needed was, I thought of like, for instance, what I needed. So for instance, I knew that, listen, I need a guitar for argument's sake. So okay. When I just started, I did the gigs to get the gear, if I can put it that way. So okay. For instance, if I know, okay, cool, Mikey is about $500. You know what I mean? Like, and when I said I go Cash Crusaders because I wanted, you know what I mean, to start out, I was like, okay, cool. When I do my next gig, I calculated it like that in the beginning, and then so for instance, if I go to and then I met other people and I asked them how much they charge, and then I kind of regulated it that way. So for me, so like I remember after I got all the gear that I started with, you know, because I was just doing the shows to get the gear, I kind of went around with people like, hey dude, when you perform and stuff, and I knew people that did the same thing as me, like for instance, there's a girl that I went to and I asked, hey, when you charge, how do you charge? That did the same thing as me.
There was a what that you went to?
A gig.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
Oh, what I'm saying is I met up with a girl that did what I did.
Pomlani, we don't
this is bespoke. Chillax, Clive. Anyway,
no such. Don't you know that when you're in a new relationship, all the old relationships never happened?
Never. So what I'm saying is, and what they did was, and I'm speaking for me specifically, and then this girl said, no, I charge per song. Right?
Okay.
And then okay, cool. How do you charge that? Okay, I charge like $150
per song.
Yeah, charge per song. And then this person was like, yeah, I charge about $150 to $300 a song. And then depending, so say like, yeah, we need you to come sing for 30 minutes. They calculate
per song
it
is
like that.
Yeah, that's what even Paul's saying. Per song is hectic, bro. How the heck are you charging people per song?
Yeah, that's how people are doing it. And then I kept doing that. And then I met up with someone else who did it. I spoke to Travis.
How long was the set if you did per song?
Per song. So for instance, a set, a 30 minutes. Well, it depends. If it's secular, 30 minutes is long, because secular songs are a good 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Okay. So 300, you make good. If you worship whatever, Jara is like 10 minutes. You know?
Wouldn't it make better sense? Wouldn't it make better sense to charge per half an hour, perhaps, maybe like per song? But like you should. What are you saying?
What I'm saying, I didn't know, so that's what I'm saying. Like in my. So I started like that. So I did per song, and then I realized, because I was doing more worship stuff, I realized I was shy, you know. So I met Pastor you know. Anyway, and then what happened is, and then I met up with Travis, and I did a show with Travis, and then Travis said, "Hey, listen, our starting rate is 2.5," and I was like, "What?" Like, me, you know. And then so as soon as Travis got me into 2.5, that's where I made it stand.
Like he was saying 2.5 is base level.
It's base. That's half an hour.
Oh, okay. So he was saying, okay. I thought he was saying, okay, 2.5, and then like I'm gonna charge you on top. Like after that, I'm gonna charge a certain amount after that.
I'm getting there. So he said to perform 2.5, and then that's when you get to the show. But now, Pumlan, you have to add rehearsals. How long do you? And then you add.
You charge people because you have to rehearse. That's daylight robbery, bro.
Yeah, what? I prep. Yeah. So that's
like me charging someone like that's like me charging someone for practicing, like in terms of the wedding program, like knowing the names of the uncles. That's like me charging them for that.
But that's how we do it in music. That's how I'm saying. That's where I got in, and Travis got me in like a professional level. You know, Ridindwana Tako Kempton Park. So when you said this, I was like, sure. Cool. You know, and the way he did it, he was like, okay, cool. For the day, it will be 2.5, and then we're gonna charge for rehearsals. Okay, so and at the time I was doing rehearsals with him. You know what I mean? So I his band and we did rehearsal, and he was like, okay, cool. We're going to charge $600 per hour. Yes, that's what it was.
Okay.
600 per hour, depending on how the rehearsal goes. And then, all they do is they pay us the rehearsal money, and then when we get to the show, then they pay you your 2.5 or whatever that case is. So then what I started doing is I put like a whole total, you know what I mean? So when you say to me, hey, listen, I want you to come do worship, I will charge you including the rehearsal time, petrol, and all of that. But the point that I'm making is like, I had someone got me in.
Okay.
To say
someone actually helped you along the way.
Yeah, he just said, as a musician, here's how much you need to charge just for the show. And then I started tweaking it, to say, okay, cool, this is how
Mpa's in complete disbelief, bro. He thinks you're taking people for a ride, brother. But Mpa works with like big time artists. So Mpa, these things can't be hectic to you. I'm pretty sure Mpa sees tech writers that are like crazy, ridiculous. For me, it was like, you're right. There was like another artist. There was like another artist friend of mine who sent a tech rider for a gig where I was the middleman. And then when I saw this person's tech rider, I was like, whoa, they were like charging petrol, and then they had like a base figure, like this is how much I charge like per hour, and then this is what I'm going to charge you for petrol, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And to just answer Paul, it's 2.5 for a singer only. It's not with the band. Because think about it, ne? You have a 5-piece band. Divide 2.5 no. And think about it. Even with the singer, it's a little bit easier because you are, if I can say, that instrument. With a drummer, they have to sit at home and learn those songs. So 300, did you? No, bro. It's 2.5 for the singer, and then the drummer they charge their own. Because at the end of the day, bro, because with musicians, if I can say, the way for me I see it, I go, dude, if you're not worshiping every day, or if you're not playing every day, you understand what I'm saying? Oh, sorry, no, scratch that. Depending on the kind of performer you are, I'm going to use the word performer. Okay. I know, you see me, your 2.5, it will be worth it. I'm not going, no, I'm not playing that game, bro. Because what I'm saying is like, and again, Clive, we can attest, bro. The art of performing with us is crucial, dog. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that when you do this, you stand in this stance. When you do you know what I mean? When you get there, and also things like being on time, bro. Like, I'm giving you the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll be there, sound check on time. My instruments are working. If you want to pay the 200 for 30 minutes, or even, I'll even go as far, if you want to pay 500 for 30 minutes, ne? Yeah. Like, I've seen 500 Rand people. I've seen them.
You're saying you're not a 500 Rand person?
I'm not 500 Rand. I'm Uber. I'm not Uber. Go for the aircon. Go for. So I'm saying, like, it is because we bring like that experience. Because, bro, you can get any performer you want, but because you want anybody, there's a lot of people that can sing, but not everybody can do what I do. So even with you, Clive, when we get you to come MC, we're not, anybody can MC, Joe. Omalum Jabu there can come and MC, but the way you do it, dog, that's be worth it. Keep on mali. Keep on mali. Okay, sharp. I just wanted to say, Sean.
You're the man, bro. Thank you. Sharp. I think Pumlani makes a valid point. I think he makes a valid point. Because the whole thing, the charging for rehearsals is weird. I never knew people did that. I never knew people charge for rehearsals, but I can get where he's coming from when it comes to like, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for, you know? And I know that for a lot of people when they're starting out, it's a bit tough. I had recently I did something that didn't go very good, but it wasn't my fault. Okay, it wasn't my fault. Actually, the worst, I would say, the worst gig I've ever been to. We went and performed at a Afrikaans church, and I was the opening rapper at this thing. And these Afrikaans kids were like, "Nah, bro, nah, come on, lift your hands for Jesus." They were like, "Nah, bro, we're not gonna lift our hands for Jesus." It was terrible. Everything was like lead balloons coming out of my mouth, bro. Like right across the front of the stage. I don't think there's anything worse than like having people not respond to what you're saying, and it was bad, bro. It was so bad. And it's in moments like that where you're like, hey man, look, I feel bad. I feel bad for I feel bad. I feel bad for having charged you this way. Um, but your crowd just didn't, receive this thing the way they did. And I do want to say um I applaud a lot of new guys that are on the scene that are trying to like navigate their way through this. It's tough, man. It's tough to try and go, this is what I believe I'm worth. This is what I believe I'm worth. This is the amount of practice that I put in. This is the amount of time that I spend going to studios to record songs and things like that. And it's tough to try and then go like, and because of all this other stuff that I do, this is what I'm going to charge you. I think that stuff is like really, 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 really hard to do, man. um, I think it's very difficult to do for me. When I used to go out and kind of perform, I used to like reference as much as I could. I used to like watch a bunch of other, you know, dudes that were performing, and then I would model what I do behind that. And I would really, really hope that people could see the value in that, but sometimes they just didn't. I see Atrax is on. Atrax, I'm gonna see if I can let you in now. Hopefully your audio is proper. Hold on. Yo, bro. Say something quick so we can see if we've got audio from you, brother. Because Pumlani came in and he had good audio, but I'm not hearing anything from you, bro. It's like still dead, bro. I still have nothing coming from you. I think it might be like some mic issues on your side, bro. Because I see you're muting and unmuting. But it's just not. I think there's settings there by the mic where you can choose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I can't hear Jack, my guy. Let me see. I'm gonna try check on my phone over here. Just hold on. Let's see. Yeah, my guy. I can't. If to HX, I wish like. Yeah, dog. Nothing's coming out. Nothing's coming out, bro. I don't know where the issue is at on your side, but like there's no audio, bro. I want not audio at all, bro. That time I know you've got some really great stuff to say. You know? I know you got some great stuff to say. I just don't know why your audio is not coming through. Are you using your phone or your laptop? I think you must maybe try use your phone, bro. Zama phone ya gago and then come back. Just try your phone. Yeah, man. So like again, it's tough, and I think for me sometimes it's like a bit of a hit or a miss. You go like, well, this is how much I think, and then people go, but like Pumlani says, you're gonna get what you pay for. With me, I think now when it comes to I've moved away from like rap because it's just it's not that I don't love hip hop. I love hip hop, but I just don't see, I just don't see it going very, very well. Specifically, the type of rap that we're trying to do, and so I do more MCing than I do thingy. And I will say this: more and more, I think more people are starting to be a little bit more receptive when you do quote them a certain amount. Um, but before, it was tough, bro. Yo, it was tough, and people couldn't understand. Like, I need to get to the show. I need petrol to get to the show. I need to pay my homie that gave me a beat for free. You know what I'm saying? I need to pay the homie, but anyway, Atrax is still trying to figure out what he's going to do. But I did want to say that. I did want to say to people that are still artists, if you're an artist out there, I think that it's up to you. And plus, there's so much social media exists now, and I think social media does allow you as an artist to either, put together a really dope looking IG page or a website or something to show the value proposition, to show the value proposition so that it's easy for you to then, quote and stuff like that. I think that you have the opportunity to do that nowadays. I want to switch. I want to see. Atrax, I've put you on, but I don't know if I'm not getting audio from you still, brother. I'm not getting audio from you, man. Let me just see. Because now I don't want to be like Kevin Samuels here, kicking people off the live stream unnecessarily. The moment you have to justify your fee to someone, that's when you know you should walk away. Hey, but Paul, walking away, bro, I think is like easier said than done when, you know what I'm saying, when the people are like really desperate for the cash, really, really desperate for the money. It's tough to walk away. So you bend. Eventually you buckle. Eventually you just go like, well, this is unfortunately what I'm just gonna have to take. And then, sometimes people use like Christian, is the word platitudes, Christianese to go like, no, I'm gonna sow this gig, I'm sowing this gig, and they can pay me whatever. But I think it's really, really, really tough for especially if I haven't seen you. The sad part was for us, I think, when we were going out, was like we couldn't show people what we were doing at our shows. We would go to shows and like tear the whole stage up, but we didn't know, we didn't know how to show that to the next person. That was the tough part. Yeah, exactly. The challenge is that you're unknown. You're an unknown somebody, and so, it's always going to be tough when you're unknown trying to do that. Let me see if I can get some more people on. I'm gonna put the link in the comments again, and then you guys can hop on here. And I think once you see it, once you know that someone is willing to pay like 20,000 rand for something that you have inside of you, like it's hard to go back. It's hard to go like, well, okay, I'm gonna accept this from somebody else. Let's see. When you're starting off, it's a different story. Yeah, man. When you're starting, hey, Fitz, you're just gonna have to take what you can. Let me see if I can get Atrax on now. My guy.
Marlight, Clive.
Hey, bro, I can hear you now.
That's better.
So, how you doing, man?
I'm chilling, dog. I'm chilling. I'm still at the office. I was about to leave, then I realized, hey, it's time. It's time for that thing now.
Nah, I appreciate that, bro.
I'm gonna leave after this.
Yeah. So tell me, was it like difficult for you guys to go to churches when you were starting out? To try, like, did churches come to you, or did you go to churches and say, hey, we'd like to gig at your church or whatever?
Well, we never really went to gig at churches. We were, I think, fortunately, we were the youngest group in the country, and we were doing something that everybody else was not doing. Everybody else was into Afro jazz and everything like that. So we played soul, R&B, hip hop. Yeah. So we sort of like applied to a much larger crowd of younger people than just the older people, who then loved your Afro jazz and all that. So it made it easy for us that we were that one different thing at any festival, because we played like your jazz festivals, we played weddings, we played in churches. In churches, it was always our initiative because we were also doing ministry as well as music. To us was a career. It was the only thing we were doing at the time. We graduated from school, so we had a music school going on as well. So it was like where we are was like the hub of music at the time, because there was
Sure.
your rap, there was your like band, there was the music school, and we were pretty much central. So that's what sort of helped us as far as our music was concerned at the time. So we would sing almost every other week, not only at church, but like I said, weddings, festivals. Whenever Harry brought any artist, would be the ones to put the shows together and all of that. So yeah, that's what it looked like for us.
Okay. Okay. And then was it tough trying to justify to people the what it was that you guys were bringing? Because how many were you in the band?
It was three main guys, and we always had to find a drama, and mainly the drama, depending on where we were gonna play. Like for example, if we went to like a proper festival, we'd then need to get someone who played the keyboard and a drama. Then would then be paying those guys. It was still very difficult because Lesotho is not like South Africa where the music industry is fully fledged. Everything is still coming up that side. So sometimes when you came out and you said you want 20,000 and they thought like this guy is crazy. What 20,000? And they don't see the work that goes into that, because like I'm saying, that's what paid us. And like Kumlan was saying earlier, it's the issue of rehearsal, being able to transport everyone else, and also being able to make like something out of it. Because what we were doing is, as we were gigging, we're investing in buying equipment. We're buying our own sound. We're buying our own guitars for the school. Like we're actually trying to build something very, very big. It's just that when guys got married, everything just stopped making sense for them.
Ooh.
Everything stopped making sense, because then you can't say, no, I'm going to play for 3,000 rand and there's the six of us. It doesn't make sense to the wife.
It doesn't make sense to the wife. Well, look, man, you have to empathize with her, because I mean, you're gonna spend, and the thing is, it's the time that you can't get back. So it's like, as much as you're passionate about it, and I'm pretty sure she's happy for you, and she wants you to live out your,
Yeah.
I think for her, she's going like, is it ultimately worth all of that?
Yeah, like if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. I'll give you that much, because we spend a lot of time. We spend a lot of time rehearsing other people's songs. If we're gonna sing, at a wedding, we spend time. Like there's just a lot of time that you spend in preparation, besides the 30 minutes that you go and perform in front of people. And people sort of think that's all that there is. They don't know you spend time trying to learn the lyrics, trying to learn the riffs on the guitars, and trying to play them together, and also making them sound like a proper product that somebody is willing to buy. There's just a lot of time that goes into that. People don't look at that. They just look at, I just paid a guy to jump up and down the stage for 25,000 rand for 30 minutes. No, it's not that way. There's just a lot that goes in there.
Yeah, there's a lot, but yo, man, like I said yesterday, I mean, we've myself and Pumlani have been on the other side of it, where you understand how the budget process goes for some organizations and stuff, and so you know that it's very tough to try and explain that, you know what I'm saying, that it's worth 25K to bring these guys out, whereas you could find someone else that could do it for 5,000 and still achieve the same result, which is to entertain people.
I think what we invested time in was we invested time in being good, such that wherever we played, we were always different, irrespective of whether we were playing where Tanli Swamazwai was playing or wherever. We were always different because our sound was different. That's what we invested our time in. And I think that's the shortcut that Christian hip hop tried to make, of not wanting to put the work in. Some cats were not nice. I won't even lie. I'm not taking shots. I'm not gonna say names.
Bro, there was some really terrible Christian rappers out there, bro. Like really bad. Really
bad. They're bad. Their theology is questionable. Like that was just a lot. I don't want to get into your talk with Pumlan. I will implicate myself here. But I think my biggest thing was people forgot that you are a leader in your own right before you are a person that comes and stands in front of like the entire crowd. You're a person that is a representative of Christ before you are this amazing rapper that you are or that you think you are. And that's the shortcut. That's the shortcut. People did not want to invest their time in prayer, invest their time in reading the word. And it comes off in their music, it comes off in your conduct and all of that stuff. So it's the same thing that you were saying about your pastors, that how do you justify someone who you're not even sure where they stand, or it's just because sometimes it's just the love of music. It's not necessarily because they actually understand what the gospel is about, you know.
Right.
So it's a difficult one, but at the same time, the exploitation in church is worse. I won't even lie to you. The most money I've ever made with the music was with people that were not even affiliated with the church.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking,
But
we
I mean,
played for more than 10 years.
yeah, but I mean, like again, and I'm saying when it came to the church, were you guys doing purely Christian hip hop when you were going around to all the churches, or was it like this cool Afro funk soul type thing?
When we went to the churches, it was purely gospel. It was purely gospel. Like everywhere,
Purely gospel
like
hip hop, or just gospel, like actual like worship.
it depended on what they wanted, because we could give them both.
Okay.
Yeah, we could give them both. But when it was in a church where there's more adults, it was usually just worship. But when it was a youth group, then would definitely go out and rap and all of that.
Yeah. And you're saying even when you guys were doing the worship, you felt like you guys were being exploited?
Bruh, with that, with with singing and like at the church, the most we've gotten from any church was transport money and them buying us food. That's all. And those are stuff we had money for. Those are things we had money for. That's the
Jeez,
most
bro.
we've gotten out of it.
Oh my word.
I've never
Oh my
received even
gosh.
an envelope with $50 to say, here you
But
go.
I mean, okay, but I mean, HX, with these mega churches where you knew, Jorge, you know what I'm saying, that there's like crazy dough there for Christian hip hop or whatever it was. Did you, like what I'm saying is we can't go to a church Yakokasi and be like, gents, pay us
Yeah,
20,000. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I think the other thing that's worth mentioning here is that the church scene is not the same in South Africa as it is in Lesotho. Because in Lesotho, it's small churches. We don't have a church that has more than 5,000 people. I don't think there's a church like that. If it has 5,000 people or 2,000 or 3,000, it's because it has a bunch of other branches in other places, not one that sits as many. So that also, I think, affects the revenue as well, which is why we were happy to do it either way, because we knew that there's no money. There's no money.
Yes. So where do you draw the line? Let me ask you that then. Where do you draw the line between, I've got a gift that God has given me, and I gotta get reimbursed for this passion of mine?
I think that's why we had two fronts where we were playing in the corporate. We were playing like a lot of corporate events for the government and all of that. And we were also doing our thing in the church. So we ended up deciding, so that we never get frustrated or anything, whenever we get anything for church, we're not going to expect anything. And purely because we knew some could not afford. Some could, but they were not. They would just buy you food and then you transport money. That's all they could give. So that's when we decided, we're not going to frustrate. That's ministry. We're going to do it for free. It's fine. Even though I felt like they needed to do something like to appreciate us, but we never really, really allowed ourselves to get frustrated over it, because we were making money on this side as well.
Okay. Yeah, because again, man, there's some people that go like, well, hey, you know what I'm saying, you're doing it for the Lord. So why would you expect
a doctor does
you're
it
doing
for
it for the Lord,
well.
so why would you expect reimbursement?
A doctor does it for the Lord too. I mean, like he gave all of us the same gifts, even though they're different. And an advocate does it for the Lord. It's just that
Yeah.
I feel like there's margins that have been drawn. There's careers that are supposed to make money, and there are those that are just we're helping out. It's just saying how am I gonna give a bunch of boys going up and down on stage making noisy? How am I paying them? You know, they're like in Lesotho. Another funny thing that happened in Lesotho a couple of years ago was the prime minister. They were talking about paying soccer players, because they don't get
Okay.
paid. Then he says, "I give boys a football to kick it and play and have fun, and then I come and pay them afterwards." It's like, no, I
Dude,
can't do that. Imagine that's the
dude,
mentality that we were going against, and it's the same mentality that I feel like operates in the church as well.
is that people don't see it. But I said it yesterday. I said yesterday to Pumlani, I think that people don't see, like, if it's not pure worship, they don't really see it as something that is like anointed. They don't see it
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
something that. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think
Yeah, but at the same time,
that's
Clive,
why
we
they're
were
like,
doing
you
both.
guys are just having fun.
We were doing both. There's no, I don't think there's enough. Like they had enough reason not to consider whether, okay, maybe let's give them 1,000 rand or anything like that.
Mm,
What we would get with our church is that they wanted to know what else do you want to do outside of the music, and they try to finance those things, not to
yeah.
finance the music, which for me was a pretty good gesture. Um,
Okay.
I think that was better because then they showed that they cared about it, but they wanted to
Sure.
stay us away from the music because they were thinking this would not work. And also, I think it's on us at the same time because we were comparing ourselves to Bo, Lacrae, Bo Indie, and yet the
Yes,
cultural
sure.
context is not the same.
We were,
But
and I think there came a time as well where there was a conversation about art for the church and art from the church.
mm,
And so what happened was when Lecrae was starting to speak about, hey, I make art from the church, not art for the church. I think
a
that's where
rapper that
things
is
got a little
Christian.
bit gray.
When he
And
became
what
a
did you
rapper,
say?
a rapper that is Christian.
Right. I'm not a Christian rapper. I'm just a rapper that happens to be Christian.
That's how the movement died.
You think so?
That's how it died. Think about it. After that, everything went downwards. He lost a lot of following. People started like the driver of the movement was Lecrae. We can't even lie. That's how the movement. That's how I feel like the movement died, and that's why what's his name? The Truth wrote that song Table Talk.
Yeah.
He went hard. He went hard. He went hard. He went hard there. But I think that's how the movement died because all of a sudden there was a divide while he was only then building. Because I don't feel like he had reached a point where we had a solid foundation as the Christian community that we can thrive off of singing the gospel alone.
Yeah.
As far as hip hop
Okay.
is concerned, I can't speak about Botai tribute, we will worship and all of that. But as far as rap is concerned, we were still trying to start off. We had not yet started really breaking ground. We were just in the beginning.
Sure. And so you think that Lecrae took the approach of art for the church versus art from the church? He took it too early. He should have still been building. It should have been purely, you know what I'm saying? It should have
Yeah,
still been
he was the
purely
one saying
CHH
CHH
until a
all the
certain
way.
point.
He was the one saying CHH all the way, whatever. You spearhead a movement, the movement starts, and then you're saying, hey guys, I've been doing something wrong. I'm doing something wrong. I'm actually not that, I'm this. The inconsistency is what crippled the movement. Well, that's
Sure.
just my opinion. Other people can see it differently, but that's just my opinion. And I'm not saying this to bash him or anything like that because I feel like he was also on his journey, learning, trying to do what he thought was right at the time. And
Yeah.
maybe the other wrong thing was everybody hinging the movement on him, while we needed to just follow God. That's it.
Yeah. Well, nah, man. I appreciate your input in the conversation. I'm pretty sure that there's some people that will have, their own ideas on that. But I appreciate you,
Yeah,
bro. Thank you so much.
no problem, G.
Cheers, dog. Hey. Hi. I'll be honest with you. I got trapped in the conversation of, you know, art for the church, art from the church. I personally got, you know, a little bit swayed, and because it was like we're trying to reach more people. The whole goal here is to reach more people. And so unfortunately I can't reach a lot of people if everything I'm going to say is Jesus, 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 Jesus. But then years later, we found that's exactly what you need to do. That's exactly the type of art you should be putting out. That's what people need. If you look too much like something else, then people are going to be like, nah, no thanks, no thanks. But that's very interesting. But that's a very interesting take that Atrax is saying that the movement died once we stopped being pure to ourselves, which is, which is very interesting. But I did want to just start the conversation and just ask the questions about, what are people really worth? What are people really worth? If you got an art, if not an art, if you've got a talent, um, what is it really worth? What is that talent really worth? Who determines what that talent is worth? Um, and I think you have to set those boundaries right at the beginning. You have to decide for yourself right at the beginning. I am doing this for A. A could be I'm doing this so that I can be freaking rich, right? That's you. Or I'm doing this for, I just want to get a message out. If you want to just get a message out, then great. Then it doesn't really matter. But unfortunately, we've always found that at some point it's going to get down to like, in order to sustain this thing, in order to sustain it properly, it's going to require money, which is the really, 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 really sad part about it. It's always going to require those things. I don't know who's still in the chat, but let me put this comment up. Yeah, wait, no, not that one. Do it for the Lord is really a rough conversation. Yo, do it for the Lord. Do it for the Lord has gotten a lot of people into trouble, man. In the sense that some people have, it's been used as a way to guilt people. It's been used as a way to guilt people into accepting peanuts, bro, for really hard work, But at the same time, it's always also a good reminder. Like, who are you really doing this for? Are you doing this because that's what you said, right? That's what all the songs are about. How do you justify it? Now, if you say, oh, well, we're trying to build a studio so that more young people can come through and record and different. But if it's like, I'm doing it so that I could get some J's, it's tough. It's tough. It's really, 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 really tough. Really tough. I just want to see here who else is going to jump on before because I got some stuff to do. I got stuff to do today. But I really appreciate everybody that's hopped on. I mean, we're at, I think, like 26 subscribers now. This channel had 14 subscribers when before yesterday. Now we're at 26. So I really appreciate everybody jumping on. Let me see here. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to start that conversation. For me, earned my first big check at the age of 20, and I knew that I needed to buy a car, and I decided, oh, Paul's gonna hop on. Hold on. Yeah, bro, the link is in the comments there. Hop on there quick before I dip. And and I really, really, really like blew it, man. When I got that first check, I knew I should have bought a car with that first check. I knew I should have did it, and I didn't, and I held on to it, and then family came, and it was this and it was that, and I ended up not getting a car at that time, and that's one of the biggest regrets that I probably have is when I got that first check for the big campaign. Man. I'm just waiting for Port to hop on. I think that was like a big mistake that I made, because I could have then, once I had the car, that would have been the thing I would use to continue to build on the, because I don't know about y'all, man, but getting to auditions and stuff like that in Johannesburg was tough because all of the casting houses are in Blair Gowrie, Randburg side. So you'd have to take like 6 cabs just to get to your audition. It just wasn't feasible, bro. It just wasn't feasible. Paul, as soon as you get into the waiting room, I'm gonna let you in, bro. So let me just see here. And I remember walking on Jan Smuts, bro, trying to find where the casting house was. And it was just a mission, bro. It was a mission. And then eventually, there's this one casting house. I don't remember what it was called. There's this one casting house in Blair Gowrie where it's like inside of Blair Gowrie, like by the houses and stuff. And you have to like walk, into the residential area, and then you eventually get to the casting house, and the taxis don't go there, so the cabs leave you on like Jan Smuts, and then you have to like walk in. By the time you get to the audition, you're already tired, sweaty, can't remember your lines. Yo, fine. To all the people out there that are actors and stuff, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Okay, and Paul seems to be in the waiting room. Man. Good.
Yo,
What up, dog? How you doing, bro?
I'm good and you, man.
Oh, good, bro. Good, bro. I'm glad you hopped on. I'm glad you hopped on. You got some great expertise because when you've been out there in the world and you serve in a church and stuff like that. What do you think is like the biggest problem that people don't understand when it comes to specifically when artists are like quoting for something? Because obviously you've dealt with Little AKA and Shekinah and stuff. Where do you think the biggest issue is?
Yeah, look, I mean, those people are quite established and all of that, but
Yeah,
like Pumlani was saying earlier on, one thing that you gotta establish from the get go is all your costings for you to do the gig, for you to
yeah,
function as an artist, basically, how much that will cost you, and
sure.
based on that, that charge the client. So you think about it. Okay, I need to book Clive. I need to book a driver. I need to book a
Mm,
singer. I need to book a tax. So
right.
all of that you itemize it into your costing for client, and then you give a client a costing to say, okay, Sharp, I'm gonna bill you 20 grand for Saturday's performance.
Yeah.
And if she says, oh my gosh, what's the 20 grand for? Oh yeah, 20 grand is for me to pay everybody that's involved in this thing.
Mm,
Normally, I mean, clients don't really want an itemized billing. So they'll just be like, okay, Sharp, is that how much you cost? Sharp, okay, clean. It's either yes or no. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But, and then from there, then you move to a space of, is 20 grand really worth what I'm giving people?
Right.
Or can I now move up to a better space? So, like Pumlani was saying earlier on, you know that you grafting behind the scenes hard, and that
Mm,
you're gonna give somebody an amazing product. So I'm gonna approach, if a client approaches me, I'm gonna tell them straight up, this is how much I charge,
yeah.
and I'm gonna stick. You know, so
Sure.
starting off is a bit like, yeah, you gotta kind of like start off. I started off taking $200.
You're
Sharp,
joking.
I'll come. Yeah,
200 bucks
I'll
to mix
come.
a whole show?
No, I wasn't even engineering then. I was literally like coming to pack up at the end of the show. I don't even get to see the show. I'm standing outside waiting for the show to
Jeez.
end. So the
You're
show ends
joking,
at
bro.
12. The show ends at 12. I have to be there at 10 p.m. Show ends at 12. People only clear the space at like 1:30. Then we start going at 2 a.m. Then you go till like 5, 6 in the morning. Then you're getting a 200 rand. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
wild, bro. Were you
it's
doing it
crazy.
because you needed the money back then?
No, so for me, it was all about passion, and I knew where I wanted to get to, but I had to pay my dues. So I was like, I'll
Right.
pay my dues. And when I get to where I need to get to, never again in my life will I be waiting for 3 hours outside, waiting to get in to
Jeez.
pack up after a show that I never got to experience. So you got to decide how far you want to go with your gift or your passion, and that drive will drive you to work through the 200 bucks, 300 rand, all the way to getting that fat check eventually. So like now
Right.
I can easily pick and choose what I want to do and what I don't want to do. You know, whether somebody comes and says, here's $1 million, I'll choose, like,
Yeah.
do I really want to do that? Nah, I don't want to do that. No thanks. And then
Yeah.
somebody will come and say, here's 5,000 rand. And I'll be like, yeah, I want to do that. Then I'll take it.
Mm.
You know, so, but you work yourself up to that place of saying, yeah, sharp, I'm at a place where I'm satisfied. I've worked, I've paid my dues, and I'm at a place where I don't negotiate. So I know there's certain companies who will never book me because of my rate.
Right.
And because now I tell them I don't set up. I just come in and
Jeez.
engineer and I leave. Because I
Woo!
paid my dues.
Are you saying they have to figure out setup?
Yeah. Yeah. And the setup has to be based on how I like things to be done. So I'll tell you, this is how I prefer it. Set it
Yeah.
up, I get there, engineer, and I leave. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
There's certain places like church. Church, it's different. I don't mind being in there, getting dirty, setting up, running
Yeah.
cables till 2 a.m. That's fine. That's a different story. But in the industry, I've paid my dues in the industry where I've made it a point where I said, okay, I've worked myself up to a place where I really don't want to be setting up gigs.
Right. Right. You just want to get there, mix, dip.
Yeah. So that's it's all based on, as a creative, how far you want to take your craft and how much you respect your craft. So you push yourself through the 150 per song, 30-minute gig of 1,500 rand. Oh, okay, Clive wants me to do 3 songs at his wedding. That's my friend. I don't mind. I'm giving back to him. I'll give back
Yeah.
to him. But if somebody
Yeah.
at Clive's wedding sees me, I'm not gonna tell them that I did Clive's wedding for free.
Sure.
I tell them, oh, my rate is 5,000 rand.
Yeah.
You know, so you're only as good as your last gig. That's my theory. You're only as good as your
Yeah.
last gig. So for me, I've never advertised myself ever. So
Mm.
for you to pick up the phone and phone me, it's because you've heard my work, or you've seen, or you've heard of me, and you're confident enough that I'll give you what you're calling me for. So that's
Sheesh.
how I justify my billing. That
Yeah.
I don't advertise. So, like I was saying, the higher the demand, the higher the fee, and you can also
Right.
choose whether you want to be exclusive to certain people and how accessible you want to be to people. So, if you want to be accessible, your fee will fluctuate.
Yeah.
If you want to be accessible, you'll allow anything to go. But if you don't want
Yeah.
to be accessible, you'll bill people like ridiculous amounts of money, and then they'll decide. I mean, Beyonce probably charges like 10 bar.
Right.
So you sit down and think about it. If I book Beyonce, then I gotta have the cojones to book Beyonce. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And she doesn't negotiate. That's how it is. She's worked
Sheesh.
herself up to that place where I won't negotiate. You paying me 10 million rand for me to perform 1 hour. Done.
Yeah. That's just the basics.
You know what I'm saying? So even with individuals, you got to decide how much. So like I was saying, on IG, it's your brand. How much do you respect your brand, and
Yeah.
how far you willing to take your brand? So I knew that I was building up my brand name as an engineer, and how far I wanted to take it, and I had goals and targets that I wanted to reach before 30, and I squashed them at 27. And when I squashed them 3 years before my target, I was like, wow, okay, great. I've ticked off boxes. What else is there to achieve? Then I was
Yeah.
like, I need to solidify this brand and now make sure that I do what I enjoy doing now. So now
Yeah.
I started balancing my lifestyle. Instead of doing 25 gigs a week, I could do 10, but I'm still
Sure.
earning more money than back then when I was doing 25 gigs. You know what I'm saying?
Do
So
you, Paul, do you think you've done your 10,000 hours?
I've done more than 10,000 hours. Like,
Yeah.
my 10,000 hours is gone. Like I don't even know where I'm sitting right now. You
Yeah.
know? But
Because
like
there's a lot of people
I
that don't know the value of that.
yeah, you have to. You have to, like I was saying, that me sitting outside of a show, hearing people screaming inside of the auditorium,
Mm.
that's me paying my dues. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I did the kickoff concert. I mean, I barely watched any of the performances because I was running around. I was running cables,
Sheesh.
making sure everything is working. I was under the stage, running in the OB van outside the stadium. But I say to people, yeah, I've got the accreditation to say I was at the kickoff concert. But
Yeah.
those were for me paying dues, rubbing shoulders with the big guns, the guys overseas, all the engineers from all the artists from overseas, rubbing shoulders with them. That for me was a setup. So that was part of my 10,000 hours. Like, okay,
Yeah.
sure, I don't have to be on the board. The thing, ke hore, a lot of creatives, sometimes we want microwave solutions.
Sure.
Like 2 minutes, cling, bing, success. No, you got to work. You got to
Exactly.
put in the effort. You know, long hours behind the scenes. You got to put in long hours behind the scenes, and then eventually, like I always say to my team, uh, consistency on the other side of consistency, there's success on the other side
Sure.
of consistency. So for me, from small gigs all the way to big gigs, I'll give you 100% because
Right.
that's my brand attached to it. It's not about how much you paying me. It's about my brand is attached to it. And at your gig, whether you're paying me $100, somebody who has 100 million will notice me, and
Yeah.
that's how it happened. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I mean, I first did like my one of my first biggest show was Delicious Fest with Danny. I did Delicious Fest, and I was literally a roadie for Danny K. I wasn't even the engineer yet. I was
You were
literally
just
there
packing
setting
stuff
up,
away.
yeah, setting up, running cables. From there, somebody noticed me and said, "Yo, you're too efficient. What's your vibe?" I said, "No, I'm an engineer." That's how
Yeah.
it started, and then it exploded from there. And
Jeez.
I never looked back since. So
And
we
that's
got
the
to we
thing.
got
No
to
one wants
pay
to
our
put in the work
dues.
nowadays, man.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
No one
And I
wants to
mean,
really put in the work.
I did a lecture at my old college, and
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at some of these students. I mean, I was lecturing to first, second, and third years, and everybody wants to go to the big time immediately.
Yeah.
So how did you get there? I want to do that. I'm saying, okay,
Mm.
this is where I started. No, 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 no. But how did you get? Yes, I started here. $200. I did a Parlotones gig where I didn't even get to meet the Parlotones. I was packing up the microphones. I got $500.
Yo. I'm fit. I I don't look again, and I think everybody, you know how every hero has an origin story. I think like everybody has their origin story, and there's a lot of people out there that don't realize the value of a really good origin story. Like it's the superheroes that like Batman. Batman's parents passed away. Peter, you know what I'm saying? All these guys have these like crazy origin stories, but that's what makes the person a superhuman thing. And there's a lot of like, I guess there's a lot of artists out there that because of social media makes us feel like we're close, Paul. It makes us feel
Mm,
like I know I'll see like for Joburg Day or something. I'll see that AKA like he's live, but he's using auto tune, and I know for a fact that not everybody has that kind of setup, bro. Not everybody's gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a point where AKA wasn't this auto tune singing, guy. He was just a hardcore rapper that understood mic control and things like that. And then he's at the point now where he's got magicians like you that can take the album experience and make it live, which I've never
yeah.
understood, by the way. I still don't know how you guys do that. I don't know how you guys are putting auto tune on live mics. I have no idea how you do it. because it didn't exist when
Listen.
we were rapping in churches and Paul. I wish I was at a church with auto-tune.
Listen, it all goes back to how far you wanna push the boundaries of
Yeah,
what you do. So like that's why I watch a lot of documentaries. I watch a lot of what the guys in the States do, and I also befriend a lot of guys overseas and get to sit down and chat with them and see what happens.
yeah,
So a lot of times we want to stay safe within textbook stuff, and
sure.
you gotta play outside the walls of textbook. So you gotta
Yeah,
experience life outside. So school was a great foundation, but outside of school there's a life you gotta live and
mm,
experience it with what you were kind of taught. So there was the foundation of, okay, how do we now implement, because that's what a live show is. You taking an album experience and
yeah,
bringing it live. How do we
mhm,
incorporate that? So he walked in the one day and said, "Hey guys, I want to try using this." And we had a
sure.
TV gig that we were gonna do. We are doing live amp, and he just released one time, and he said, "I wanna sing with the autotune for one time on live amp."
Live.
And we said, "Okay, let's try it." I'm a person who's always saying, even at church, I tell them, I'll never say no until I
Mm,
try and I fail, but I have to fail
sure.
at least 5 times.
Yeah.
And after the fifth time I failed, then I can tell you it's impossible for us to do it.
Right.
So we were in rehearsal, we tried it out. I was like, okay, let's see, let me push it in the PA. Ah, it works. Okay, sharp. Then he said, okay, can we try it out? I said, yeah, let's go. But we have to be super early for sound check. And I
Yeah.
mean, we were literally risking a live TV performance, doing something that
Yeah.
we'd never done before. So we got there,
Was it
set
like
it
through?
up.
Was it like through Ableton? Were you guys running something through Ableton that allowed that?
Yeah, listen, I don't know if I'm allowed giving away
Don't give away. No, don't give away the secret sauce.
but
I'm just
but
because there's people that are like, I get
but
my
yeah,
get
we
my
we use
go to.
no, so we use the DAW for sure. I mean, we use the
Yeah.
DAW. When the mic went through a DAW, that the channel had all of that stuff in it,
Yeah. Because I see now a lot
and
of other people are trying to take they from your shows. It looks like since because I don't know maybe because before the idea of having a band to play a different version of the song, like we would see it happening in the States a lot, but it looked like AKA kind of took that on like here in SA, and he was like, I'm gonna be the guy to make sure that like I start pushing that type of stuff. And I think he really does it well, bro. Like he really does it well. And so
yeah,
and knowing Wenora, Vid, that was dope to see.
yeah. I
That
mean,
was really dope to see.
he's a very solid performer, and he's very pedantic. He's a perfectionist, and he knows
Sure.
what he wants. It helps, makes things easier for the team, you know.
Yeah.
And so that helps when you have an artist who knows what they want, and they're very passionate about the music, about their brand, and who
Mm.
they affiliate themselves with plays a huge role,
Yeah.
so like that helps him. His team that he's built around him is a solid team that helps him perform to the best of his ability. But I hung up that towel in 2018, so I departed from the
You're like
industry in 2018.
you were like, I'm gonna go do worship now.
Yeah, I said, hey man, I'm gonna go be in church now. That's it for me. That's it. You know?
Nice,
And
bro.
I left and I went to church, and I literally I had no job for 4 months. So I
That's
wasn't
wild,
taking
bro.
it gigs. I wasn't taking any gigs, and then that's when Shekana phoned me. He said, "Hey man, I see you're a free agent. Are you keen to work?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Listen, but my priority is church,
Sure.
which has always been the most amazing thing that she's always respected. That
Yeah.
when I say no,
You
I'm not
gotta be
available
available on a
for
Sunday.
church. Yeah, so she's always respected that. But to the industry, I bowed out 2018. I've been at church for the past 3 years now, 4 years.
Sheesh, bro.
And then eventually I got employed by the church, you know.
Yeah.
So now we're
And you're
there.
happy
That's where
there,
we
bro.
are.
Using your expertise there, bro.
You know, we're growing. We're growing. We're doing stuff that we never thought we'd be doing. I'm doing lighting. I'm doing broadcast. I'm doing, hey man, all
Triple
sorts
threat
of
now,
things.
bro.
Aish,
The triple threat.
aish. We gotta grow. We gotta grow. We can't stay there. We gotta grow. But yeah,
Sometimes I see you posting stuff online, and it's like you're editing videos as well, bro. It's like you're a one-man media team, bro.
you gotta learn. So I mean, even with the editing, when we went into lockdown, because we had one editor and there was so much content that we had to
Yeah.
push out on a daily basis, I had to learn. I literally sat and I said, okay, fine. I know slightly what Final Cut is, but
Sure.
teach me the basis of Final Cut. Let's go. And he taught me, and I started pushing buttons and all these things, and boom, now I can edit, you know. I won't say I'm the world's best editor, but I know the foundations and the basis of editing a video.
Putting
So
in
we
your
gotta
10,000 hours now, bro.
Aish, man. Hey man. We gotta keep growing, bro.
Man. Nah, bro. I appreciate you, Paul. Thank you so much for hopping on, dog.
Thanks for the chat, man.
Easy, bro. Yep. So I can smell food in the house right now. So I'm gonna dip soon. But I do want to say thank you to everybody that did hop on today. Really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate the insight. But yeah, the question of what are you worth is one that I think everybody's always asking. And for the artists out there, you got to put in your hours, bro. You've got to put in your hours. You got to put in your 10,000 hours to justify being able to say to an organization, say to a whatever, a church, whatever it is, that, hey, listen, this is how much I need, you know, this is how much I believe I'm worth. And I've specifically asked that question today because I think it's some people get nervous. Some people get nervous, but I don't think we should be. I don't think we should be. Atrax actually said something incredible where he was like, doctors do it for the Lord as well. Lawyers do it for the Lord as well, but they're still remunerated for that thing, that gift, that, you know. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. To the young creative, to the young artist, don't be shy. You're allowed to say, hey, I've put in all of this work. Therefore, if I'm going to come to your show, this is what I believe that I'm worth. Thank you so much for everybody that's hopped on. I really appreciate y'all. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We'll be doing this 3 times a week and just figuring it out as we go. So to everybody, all the guests and stuff that hopped on as well, I just want to say thank you to you guys. And I'll see you next week. All right? I'll see you next week. Probably next week, Monday. And I'll probably talk about it on all the other social media as to exactly what we're going to speak about. But yeah, this has been fun. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on